The Digital Photography Cafe show is brought to you by Focus Pyramid, the autofocus lens calibration tool for your camera.
Welcome to the Digital Photography Cafe show. Join host Trevor Current and Joseph Cristina as they serve up the hottest photography news and commentary.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This is episode 220. I'm Joseph Cristina here with my co-host Trevor Current. How you doing, Trevor?
I am doing great. How are you?
Excellent. 220. Wow. What's going on here? 220. That's pretty good. We're moving along.
We are moving along. Yeah, that's a lot of shows for sure.
Yeah. I know someone was there, you know, a lot of people are kind of joining us as of late and they're subscribing and whatnot. And, you know, it's so interesting to be able to say, you know, if you like the show, go back and listen to some of the past shows. And there's literally hundreds of hours of content to watch. It's crazy.
There are. Yeah, there's a lot there. And that really is true. I mean, even though we do discuss a lot of news, you know, kind of like, you know, what's happening right now in the photo industry, we do discuss a lot of more evergreen topics.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
business related things, marketing related things, shooting related things, even topics about cameras, but not so much from the specs end of it, but you know, tips for shooting and stuff. I know, Joe, you've done a lot of things about that in the past. So yeah, definitely worth going back and checking out our old shows.
Yeah, the last couple of days, that's what I've been working on is the next thing for you guys. And it's going to be going out on my vlog very, very soon, probably within the next week. And I took a look at the Canon 80D along with the Sony Alpha A6300. And I looked at it more as a video camera, as a vlogging camera, whatnot. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun taking a look at this camera, and I pit it kind of against, but indirectly, this camera that I'm using currently, which is my old Canon S120, which is like the workhorse.
Right.
That's literally a third the cost. So that's going to be fun. So watch out for that, guys.
Yeah, that's
that will
awesome.
be on my vlog. But kind of getting into it right out the get-go, last week we spoke about that Fujifilm, the X-T2, that looked really, really good. It had nice specs on it. And as always, you know, a week later, 2 weeks later, sometimes a month later, it just depends. Adobe will come out with a brand new Camera RAW edition, and this one is now 9.6.1 that includes a method of decoding those RAW images, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I mean, the X-T2 kind of just hit the news cycle last week. So, you know, considering it's only a week later and now we're getting the announcements of, you know, 9.6.1, that's awesome. They're rolling it out.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. That's quicker than normal. So, you know,
there's a few bug fixes in
Adobe.
there. Yeah, there are a few bug fixes in there. But again, remember this, you know, Adobe Camera RAW, you're going to start seeing this less and less in your older software. So, you know, you're going to be needing to get this in your Creative Cloud software or your Lightroom software. My understanding now, Photoshop CS5 and older no longer supported. So, and CS6 I think is cut off now as well. So.
Yeah, this is what happens. This is how you bring people into the subscription model.
That's right.
And we predicted this, you know, when they first came out. So it all kind of came to pass, I suppose. G Drive. Now, my favorite drives on the planet is G Drive. They're in the news. And a lot of interesting new drives that are just not only huge, but fast as hell. Right, Trev?
Yeah. This new G Drive with Thunderbolt, it's up to 10 terabytes. 10 terabytes. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's Thunderbolt 2, so it runs at 254 megabytes per second, which is just extremely fast. I mean, this is a fantastic drive for audio and video production. Definitely will give you the speed that you need. You're looking at $700 for this drive, and Thunderbolt, they do have a USB 3 version, which you can get at $600.
Right.
You know, but if you're on a Mac and you're running Thunderbolt, that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And G-RAID is what I use. All the G drives are great. I like the G-RAIDs because you have that, 2 drives running simultaneously. You could either do a mirror or you could do like an actual RAID to kind of make those slivers between the two and have you get almost double the speed. And that's what I do for my video production, because video is really intensive. They have actually a drive that I was looking at that's like a G-Speed drive in this RAID configuration that will give you up to, I think it's 80 terabytes, which is unfreaking believable, right? 80 terabytes at this amazing speed. Thunderbolt 2. And what they did is they made this box, whereas it can be either in your studio or you can bring it on location and use it. Just the thought of that and the speed. I mean, this was not possible, 4 or 5 years ago. It's not possible,
No, we were doctoring together SCSI drives. I mean, that was the fastest things available.
Striping them,
striping them together. And in fact, I mean, I had, I've mentioned before my old 2006 Mac Pro tower. I've got a couple 500 gig SCSI drives stuck in that bad boy and striped together, and that was the bomb back when I did it. I mean, that was smoking fast, and now, I mean, there's no comparison nowadays.
No, absolutely not. We even have
G Technology's got some new stuff out. They've always had a good product line. They just had a few new releases. So, if you are in the market for some type of serious external storage, definitely give them a look.
Yeah, and reliable, because like I said, I swear by them. I've used the G drives now for many years, and the G RAIDs, like I said, because I prefer them. Many years, and knock on wood, knock on my head, never an issue. And I've had issues with many other drives in the past. So they're doing it right. They're probably, they got it together. So very interesting. Just the size alone is just baffling. I just think that's just awesome. And it kind of, it talks about, like we were talking about for the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, we keep on saying hybrid photographers. We're no longer photographers. We're videographers. We are hybrid photographers. Yeah. And as hybrid photographers, we know, and you doing the things that you're working on now with video, the size of the stuff that we capture in HD is just crazy. The amount of megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes that we need is just nuts, right? And now we're moving into 4K, and now you could go and double that and triple that. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm doing some screen capture stuff using ScreenFlow, which is a really fantastic piece of software. But in addition to just being able to capture your screen, it's also a really great video editor.
Right.
Now I'm not doing the type of video editing that you're doing, where you really need Final Cut or something a little bit higher end. What I'm
Premiere
doing is
or something.
Yeah. What I'm doing is not that demanding. So for me, this is fantastic. But I'm putting together these short little trailers and things, and these ScreenFlow files are like 32 gigs. And I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to do with all this stuff?
Right. And it gives you an idea. Do we keep it, after we render it all out and we're done? Do we keep these originals, or do we get rid of them?
Yeah.
So, it just more and more, larger and larger size, and faster and faster drives. So very interesting. Tethered Tools, our friends over there at Tethered Tools came out with a new product. It's kind of like a rendition of an old product, but kind of brand new. Speeds are up, lengths are up, and whatnot, which really kind of looks interesting for us photographers that like tethering our cameras through USB 3, and having to do it on a extremely long length line and still be able to get quality and speed from it, right?
Yeah, Tethered Tools has been a great supporter of our show for a very long time, and the feeling is mutual. I mean, we really like their products. We actually met Tethered Tools when they were first starting out, like their first year at Photo Plus Expo. And we've kind of been connected with them ever since. And the idea of tethering has really blown up. I mean, a lot more people are tethering now for studio work, even location work. And, but one of the issues that they've always had with tethering, in general is, over longer lengths of cable, you get signal loss.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're getting dropped frames or whatever. And it's just
errors, basically.
You're getting errors.
CRC errors, basically, what they are.
Right. So they came out with a new product called TetherBoost Pro, which is a USB 3 connection. It'll connect USB 3 from your camera directly to your computer. But it actually will boost the signal, and you can get distances from 15 to 65 feet at
nice.
Full USB 3 speed without signal loss.
Yeah, so you can do video monitoring. You can definitely be capturing frame by frame and having stuff just miraculously show up on your computer, spontaneously with that speed. USB 3 is extremely fast. But yeah, that gives you the possibility of running maybe cables in your walls instead of on the ground. Maybe make junction boxes throughout the studio and have USB 3 maybe junction boxes instead of Cat 5 cable or Cat 6 cable all over the place. So yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. I do like it. And like you said, I really like their products. They're very well thought out. Especially for us photographers, things that we need. They look at pain points, and then they put ointment on the pain. So they do a really really good job at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're the accessory maker. They're the people creating all these little gadgets that we don't know we need until we need them.
Right. So anyways, guys, there's a lot more for you on the backside of this commercial. So hang in there 1 second. We'll be right back. The 3-in-1 photo reference tool featuring the revolutionary dual access color control is a versatile all-in-one color reference accessory designed to help photographer and videographer dial in white balance, exposure, and color temperature. The PRT features a large gray card with center target, making autofocus lockup easy while providing fast temperature neutralization in camera or in post-production. A 12-step exposure gradient helps produce perfect tonal reproduction, balancing highlights with deep, rich blacks. Most photographers color balance by eye, using the temperature slider to warm or cool an image. This method delivers inconsistent and inaccurate results. The backside of the PRT features our dual-access color control system, which addresses this problem. With a single click, this system will automatically adjust color temperature and apply color tint to produce optimal and repeatable results for beautiful photos every time. From in-camera to post-production, the 3-in-1 photo reference tool helps push your creativity to the next level, providing complete color control over all your imaging creations. Grab one from your local or online camera dealer or visit our website at jcristina.com.
All right, we're back, and we have a topic this week that has kind of been in the on the queue, let's say, with our show notes for quite some time, and we've just been really trying to find a good time to put it in. This week was a little light in news, so we figured it's a good opportunity to expand into a topic outside of just product releases and really kind of, start thinking about your business and about, you as a photographer and how you can grow moving forward. And it's kind of, I want to kind of put it as like, becoming the known local photographer, becoming the local photographer, the person that people think of when it comes to photography.
Yeah, so guys, completely different than just starting a website, getting on Instagram, doing your, all of your Snapchat stuff, all of your, Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. That's great for becoming known as a photographer for the holistic, the entire general community. But we're talking about now is more your local community, being that de facto photographer. Who do you call, if you want to do horse pictures? Who do you call when you want to do a wedding? Who's that person that you call if you need to get some real estate shots? Who's the guy that owns the drone? Who's the guy, this type of thing?
That's
who's that guy? Are you that guy? That's the question, right?
And the reality is, as much as many photographers say, oh, we'll travel to any location and do these shoots for you and blah, 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 the reality is you're not doing that all that much. You know, the reality is that you're picking up these local jobs because you're out in your local community, you're advertising in your local community, and you're getting these little jobs. And as much as everybody would love these location shoots, going to beautiful islands to capture somebody's wedding, those instances are few and far between.
Right.
So I have a little story that I wanted to share, and it's kind of funny because we've been in our house here since 2003, so 13 years now. And this woman has been popping in and out of our lives for the past 13 years. And it's really kind of a funny story of how it all happened. So back when my now wife and I were engaged, obviously we're seeking a wedding photographer. Right. And, we called on the local guy, the person who, everybody says, oh, this guy, yeah, he does weddings, he does events. Oh, he's been doing it forever and stuff. And so, he was like the big guy. So we called him to set up a meeting. And, of course, we were shopping around. We wanted to get some pricing. We wanted to see portfolios. We wanted to get a feel of what all these different photographers were like, their personalities. And so we called this guy, we made an appointment, and right away, on the phone, I just had a bad feeling. Right. So, he kind of just rubbed me the wrong way, So we have this meeting set, and, we go to the meeting. We were meeting at like a diner or something, kind of like just a mutual place. And he didn't even show up. He sent his assistant.
Right.
And, which I thought was really crappy, to be honest with you.
Right.
I get people are busy and stuff like that, but I'm not hiring your assistant. I'm hiring you. You are the one that I want to meet with. You are the one whose personality I want to get to know. And so that immediately turned me off. But anyway, the girl was very nice. She's showing his portfolio. She's his second shooter. She's his assistant. Very nice girl, but basically we were turned off, so we didn't hire them just because of that. It was more on principle, actually, than the portfolio. So anyway, a little while later, we got married. We were in the house for a year or two, and one day we get this knock on the door, and I go to the door and here's this woman that, I looked familiar, couldn't remember who she was. She was this photographer's assistant. Turns out she used to live in our house. Her boyfriend at the time had built our house, and she had like a set of plans or something like that. And she says, oh yeah, we were cleaning out our attic. We came across these. I thought I'd drop them off. Oh, that's fantastic. I don't think she remembered us, but we remembered her. And that was kind of cool. And so we left it at that. And, another year or two went by, and now I see, her name pop up again, but now in the photography space, and she's got her own business, and she was shooting some of our kids' sports pictures, I think. And, that was kind of cool. It was nice to see that she was out on her own, doing her own thing and stuff like that. And then a little while later, now she's shooting the daddy-daughter sweetheart dance at the school, and now she's shooting this event, and now she's shooting that event. And I'm having a conversation with this mom one day, and something about photography came up, and they're like, oh, you should call so-and-so. And I'm thinking, why on earth does this girl's name keep popping up? You know? And then I really started thinking about it. And it's because she positioned herself as this local photographer. She got in with the moms. She got into the school. She made herself known. She's likable. She's very personable, and she really did a great job of getting in top of mind when it came to photography. Now, when you ask somebody local to us about a photographer, her name comes up, not this other guy who was like the go-to guy many years ago. So, that's kind of just, a quick story, but just something that I wanted to touch on. It's so important. If you have a local business.
A lot of times it's not always about your portfolio and what you create and how you create it.
Right.
That's important. but it's not as important. It's important for people to see your portfolio and see that your vision is similar to their vision,
right.
or at least your visions are compatible with their vision of what, let's say, for a wedding.
Right.
What type of photography do you do? Is it compatible with what they're looking for? Is it something that they have seen you do in the past and now you can replicate and say, yes, this is the type of style that I want? But being there, like she was there in replacement from this guy, and that's why you didn't give them the job to begin with.
Right.
Being there and seeing the people is mission critical. You can't you cannot send a minion to show your work. People want to meet you because what is the most important thing for a photographer to know today would be, number one, having a decent portfolio, but number two, being personable. They are not hiring the photo, they're hiring the photographer. It's so critical that photographer be what they're looking for. If you are a overweight, sweaty guy, that's that smelly, sweaty, overweight guy, and the woman that's going to hire you doesn't want that, and now interviews with another photographer that is a woman that smells great, looks great, and that they get that personality back and forth that works for it works for them, they're going to hire that woman even if her work is half as good as the other guy, because it's personalities. People hire personalities. The same thing with companies. People do not hire companies. They hire personalities. Many companies understand that, and that's why they have people that are the persona, right, of that company as the, let's call it the head figure, the face figure, the figure that people see when they think about it. Who do you, for how many years, if you think about Nike, who do you think of? Right? For years and years and years, right? You see him, right, doing the mat, this is just how it works. You need that persona. So bottom line is, like I said, people are hiring not the photography. They're hiring the photographer. So she basically did it. And I'm going to guess her work is probably okay, but not fantastic.
That's
usually
correct.
what happens.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I've seen some of her work, and some of it is very nice, and some of it is mediocre at best. But she's personable. She's a mom. She's a local mom. She's kind of in with the mom clique. She's at the sports games and stuff like that. And this is, because she is a professional photographer, this is what she does for her living. It comes up in conversation, and people want to hire people they like.
Absolutely.
Even if their work may not be, as good as the next guy. But honestly, most people don't know that there's a difference. They don't know that the next guy's work is better. All they know is they like this girl, they think her work is fantastic, and they want to work with her.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to old school. Like I was saying, it's not the Instagram, it's not the Facebook, it's not all. Social is good. Social is important. You need to have social, but it's literally printing business cards. It's being at the games if that's what you want to shoot. If you want to shoot sports, you need to be at the sports.
At the events.
If you want to shoot weddings, you need to be at the places where you're going to meet possible bride and groom. People that are getting married. You need to go to the conventions. You need to go to the different clubhouses where they're hosting a wedding every single weekend. Well, why aren't you taking that? Why aren't you doing that work? Why aren't you their in-house photographer? Become that local photographer, become the in-house photographer, and become personable. Those are, I think, the big threes that, if you can concentrate, will definitely help you as far as increasing your business, number one, and increasing your bottom line at the end of the year. And also getting that repeat business. Like you said, people say, go to her, go to her, go to her. Why? Because she's top of mind, because she's doing all of these things. And she has a ground crew of advertisers that she doesn't even pay.
They're
pay. Free.
Yeah. It's all word of mouth. I mean, when you're in a close-knit community, a small, tight community where everybody kind of knows each other, that word of mouth is so important and can affect you both positively and negatively. I could say the same about a local guy that owns a pizza joint by us. He's the biggest ass you'd ever want to meet, but his food is fantastic. I won't go there because of his personality.
There you go.
That sounds stupid. Maybe, why would you not have a great meal? But you know what? The meal is inhibited by the experience.
Right.
And I just don't like him.
Absolutely.
So we don't go
Absolutely. So just some food for thought, as we call it, evergreen thoughts. And hopefully something of that you can kind of take away with and implement it in your business practices. So anyways, we need to get out of here, right?
Yes, we do. So if our viewers and listeners want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Go ahead and find me on Twitter, and that's @JosephChristina. And as always, Cristina with no H.
That's right. And you can connect with me on Twitter. It's @TrevorCurrent.
Sorry, everyone. We are out of here for yet another week. You can get all the show notes from visiting digitalphotographycafe.com. Or don't forget, please don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do that by going to youtube.com/dphotocafe. Subscribe. Don't miss any of this wonderful content.
That's right.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Take care. We'll see you soon.
You've been watching the Digital Photography Cafe show with Trevor Current and Joseph Cristina. Subscribe to our YouTube channel with any compatible device by visiting youtube.com/dphotocafe. Be sure to subscribe to our audio feed through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Xbox Music apps or through RSS. Visit digitalphotographycafe.com for show notes and to connect with your hosts.